You're listening to the Paul Higgins podcast for SaaS consulting partners ready to scale beyond six figures without more work or a bigger team. Let's dive in. You're spinning wheels building traditional Salesforce solutions while your competitors are already delivering AI agents that handle client onboarding, donor management, and lead qualification automatically. The AgentForce hype is real, but most consultants are struggling with hallucinations, pricing concerns, and knowing when to build custom agents versus using Salesforce platform. Hello, I'm Paul and welcome to episode 625 of the Paul Higgins podcast. In this episode, I speak to Sanjeet Mahajan from Kizzy, that's Kizzy Consulting. You will learn from Sanjeet how to overcome AgentForce hallucinations and pricing challenges through proper prompt engineering and training, when to build custom AI agents using LangChain, so that's LANG chain, and Crew AI versus staying within AgentForce. And they're two platforms that Sanjeet uses outside of Salesforce, obviously, and AgentForce proven case studies from hospitality and real estate showing measurable ROI and agent implementation. Sanjeet is the founder and CEO of Kizzy Consulting, a Salesforce Ridge and ISV partner helping nonprofits, real estate and home care teams grow with clean data, smart automation, and human-first design. A seasoned technical architect with a deep curiosity of AI, Sanjeet is building intelligent systems that think, act, and adapt so businesses don't just keep up, they leap ahead. What I'll do now is hand you over to Sanjeet from KizzyConsulting.com. Fantastic to have you here, Sanjeet.
Thanks, Paul. Thanks for having me.
Now, I've got to call something out that you watching this on YouTube, in particular on the Paul Higgins mentoring channel, won't believe how much experience Sanjeet has got, given that he looks to be just out of school. He is the youngest looking guest I've had for his age, but he has got lots of experience, so don't let that throw you. But great to have you on here. And what I'd love to kick off with is, who your ideal client is and what problems you love to solve for them.
Yeah, sure. We are a Rich Consulting partners, like I already mentioned. So we primarily work with nonprofits, home care, and real estate customers, primarily focused on AI and CRM space, focused on Salesforce. We help them kind of automate their internal processes, save time, make teams more efficient. For example, like with nonprofits, we do a lot of donor management automations, recurring donation automations, volunteer automations. And similarly, I won't get into the details, but for other verticals as well.
Yeah, great. And why those verticals? What got you into those?
No specific reason though, but we got a few customers initially who were kind of on those verticals. We just drill down into those verticals and found some more clients. We created a niche in there, so that's how it came up.
Great. And when you say CRM, is that predominantly sales that you're working with?
Yeah, we are primarily working with Salesforce as a CRM currently, and we also do a bit of AI agent work outside of Salesforce and AgentForce as well.
Brilliant. Well, that's what we're here to talk about. I suppose what got you into this journey of picking Salesforce? You could have picked any platform. Why Salesforce?
Again, it was a journey, right? So I started as a coder myself, and I got introduced to Salesforce from an organization I used to intern at. And that is how I got into the world of Salesforce and slowly picked up, grew, and then thought of being an entrepreneur. And here I am.
Okay, great. And as I joked at the start, but you've been in this ecosystem for about 10 years?
Yeah, almost a decade. Yeah.
Yeah, fantastic. When did you first dabble in AgentForce? When did you think that might be something that your clients would benefit from?
So I was at a Dreamforce last year, and I just walked into the Dreamforce and the keynote hall, and it was all AgentForce out there, all the banners, people were going crazy. I did some hands-on there. I think if you have been to Dreamforce, there are some hands-on workshops. So I attended a couple of hands-on workshop. I built my first agent there. I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. And then I came back. I spoke with my team that this is something blowing up. And we thought that this is just another tool back then, right? We didn't take it that seriously. After a couple of months, we were like, dude, this is like really huge. And then we started dabbling into it, understanding how it can help our customers, spoke to our customers, did some POCs around it. And then I started digging into the world of AI agents, even off Salesforce. and understood the value of it. It is not just another tool, it is more of a helping hand, an intelligent intern, I would call it. And it can do some redundant tasks or even some tasks that require a lot of brain.
Great.
That is how we kind of dabbled into AgentForce, did some POCs there as well.
Through your journey of working in AgentForce, we'll get to the other apps or AI in the future. But going back to AgentForce, like what have you learned? What's been the things that you've discovered most about it that is that it's helped you in the work that you have?
So, my team and myself, we have been, working on Agent Force, building agents, prompts for almost 7, 8 months now, close to that. We have had multiple iterations. Initially, it didn't work. Then we realized that prompts are something that needs to be given correctly. It's like training an intern, right? You need to give the right set of instruction to get the right set of output. That is something that we have learned. But in terms of the impact, I think it has a huge impact from a customer perspective. Like we have built this real estate agent force agent, and it helps onboarding clients, offboarding clients, and those kind of things. So I think it has a lot of impact if you build it the right way.
Right. And if you were head of Agent Force today and you could have a magic wand of what you would like to change about it, what's the biggest things that you'd like to change or improve on it?
So you need to, sometimes it hallucinates a lot. So I think that is, if I had a magic wand, I would ask it not to hallucinate and maybe come up with better ideas. But it's great with the timeline we are looking at. It's a great product.
Yeah, great. And I know that for some clients, it becomes a little expensive. I think at the moment when we're recording this in 2025, it's around, $2 USD for, is it a revolution? Is that what you call it? Or what's the technical
Yeah, but they have
term?
reduced it. I think a couple of weeks ago they have announced a reduction in the price. Now it is, I think, 10 cents or something. I might be wrong. Just disclaimer, don't follow my words here, but just go and check it. I think they have reduced slashed down the price quite a bit.
Okay, great. And is that based on a certain amount of licenses or how are they deciding that discount rate?
I think they recently did, so it's still unclear, but probably should be on certain licenses or consumption. I'm not sure on that yet.
Yeah, well, look, I suspected they were going to do that because of it really forced a lot of other Salesforce partners to go and look at other solutions, right? Because it was a little cost prohibitive, especially in the not-for-profit space, which I know that you do some work in, and love to fix the hallucinations, the cost you got. Is there anything else that you believe that is missing in AgentForce that you'd love to see?
I think it's a journey they go, right? So there are a lot of things that can improve. I think the actions can improve a bit, and a lot of internal things. I would not like to pinpoint a certain aspect of it, but the pricing was the most critical. I think they have sorted that out, so it should kind of scale now.
Yeah, great. And you said you're also testing some other agents that aren't Salesforce based. So take us a little bit through why you did that and what have you been testing?
Oh, great. So outside of Salesforce, we have used LangChain, QAI. Those are like frameworks on top of Python. N8N is great, but problem with N8N is it does not store the context. These other AI tools or Python-based libraries, they help you retain the context. We have built a lot of agents outside internally as well to improve our operations. The biggest problem that I see in consulting firms or founder-led organizations, time is crunch, right?
Yes.
And content creation is key. You are a king of content creation, so I don't want to say much about it. But we have created this internal AI agent called Content Crafter. The main problem that we had was ideation. We didn't get a lot of ideas on what content to write, what different marketing strategies to fall upon. Our marketing used to sit like for sometime for 3 4 weeks and to come up with the idea. And this content crafter, it is a trained AI model, kind of helps us basis our organization structure, how we are working, what our clients do, and certain other aspects of it. And we have trained them on the past data. Now it spits out marketing ideas, content ideas, basis what we do and who we are. So it has reduced our time for identifying what to do from a content standpoint drastically. It takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, yeah.
So it used to
And it's
take
a
three.
it's a bit of a double-edged sword because it's, as people do more and more of that, and obviously we do that as well, it means that the ability to create content's greater. So that means the volume of content's going to go up, right? It's sort of the how do you keep your unique voice whilst you use, the let's say it does the 80% of work and then you're tweaking the 20. And when you said you've sort of trained it off your data, et cetera, what are you using as your key agentic platform for this?
So we are using LangChain basically. LangChain is, have you heard about LangChain? LangChain is
No.
a, oh,
How do I spell
LangChain,
that?
LangChain, LangChain.
Right.
It's a Python-based framework that you can
Okay.
use. QAI is another tool that you can use, and it is also great for certain bits and pieces. So you can use all these and created it. But LangChain and all requires programming knowledge, and you need to understand how agents work. It is not as simple as point and click, but it delivers a lot of results. Then another thing that we created is using RAG. RAG is basically retrieval augmentation, so you can just run it on your data set. So we
Yes.
had a lot of internal documents and we created kind of a bot. The bot just answers the question basis those set of documents. So that has helped us. Sometimes you need to drill through the documents to just get to an answer, and the AI agent does it. And
Great. And what have been the channels that you're getting the most success with, given the content that it's creating?
So we do a lot of content on LinkedIn primarily at the moment, and then we do newsletters. Both have helped us a lot. We are diving a lot into YouTube. I probably need some tips from you on that. But yeah, we are starting to do YouTube as well. I think it's a world of content, so you need to be out there and just give your thoughts. And the idea of the content crafter is to give you ideas on what you can do, and it is your voice. It also helps you kind of create a brief out of it, and then you can tweak in there and give your own ideas. And the good point is it knows your journey. So it is not something that Paul's content will be similar to Sanjeet's content, because it is my journey. I've explained my entire life journey to the
Yes.
AI agent and it understands who I am. It is like a marketing person you hire, right? And you tell them what we do, blah, 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 and then they come out with ideas. So it's on a similar lines.
Yeah. And look,
Consider it as a teammate, I
yeah,
would
yeah.
say.
Well, we were discussing today on our group call around, how each consultant's using the AI, and we were sort of showing examples. One person, I've helped him create his sales page and his landing page on his current campaign. Now, that might cost $10,000 in the past, and we sort of did it in 20 minutes. It's incredible what you can achieve now
Absolutely.
and do it. I think the one of the biggest learnings that we've all got is people come to me and say, like you said, I don't have enough ideas. I don't know what to say. And I think using in a private and confidential way, but using all your recordings from sales calls, client calls, internal calls, etc., I think is great data to be able to then create your content. And that's what I do. Like, I don't want to do it twice. I don't double hand. So, this podcast is obviously going to go on YouTube, but we'll create shorts out of it, etc. And then the group calls that I have every day, every week, they go into the newsletter that then creates a certain section. I've got a Notebook LM that's got all of my favorite AI people that I follow, and that basically creates a summary. And then I put my spin over the top of it. But I think it's brilliant to be able to speak once and then get the word out there. And I think,
Absolutely.
that's certainly what we're doing. What about case studies? Whether it's AgentForce or whether it's your own agents that you've developed, what are some really great use case studies that you can talk about?
Yeah, so we have built one for our hospitality client, So we landed this customer. That is not an industry that we, tap into, but we got a customer. They wanted some agent who's help there. So we built this agent. So it is hosted on their website, a login website, and the person can directly come and say, "Hey, I want to go to London. Can you help me with some itinerary?" And it'll spit out certain places you can go based on some ratings from multiple platforms out there, and then you can pick whatever kind of tourist attraction you want to go to. You can ask at Italian restaurants, pubs, bars, cultural events happening there, weather. And what it does is, and if you when you ask it to book a hotel, it creates a lead into the system and puts in all the summary of the chat you have done with the AI agent. So it helps the sales rep kind of identify what hotel will best be suited for this guy if he's interested in going near to the beach, or let's say his wife loves some shopping, so maybe close to a shopping center, and those kind of things. That has helped them kind of come up with plans. And then with real estate, we have built another agent that helps you with onboarding. Suppose you want to sell your house, right? So it asks you a certain set of questions like humans primarily, and then you can just converse in a way you do with an actual agent.
Great. And how are you demonstrating the return on investment on implementing these agents?
So I think the first step is to implement and then put it out there. But the customer have recently started to use it. So we are still waiting for the actual reports on ROI. But they are the agents are feeling much more comfortable because it saves them a lot of time with the repeated tasks, same questions they need to ask to the client, and those kind of things, and they can focus on the other core important stuff there. Specifically with a smaller team, I think it is really important to have these kind of agents in place.
Great. And are you charging anything different? So let's say that you're doing consultancy work on Salesforce CRM and then you do work on AgentForce. Are you charging the same rates or are you charging different rates based on, what you're doing from an AI perspective?
No, so currently we're charging the same rates because we think it is a new space, and I think customers are also not able to understand exactly what the difference is. So I think once we kind of reach a stage where all the customers are happy and they understand the ROI angle, then we'll probably bump up the prices. But currently we are using the same rates as we also learn as we go, right? So it's a new space to be in.
Great. And as far as the handover, often people have internal teams and you'll basically hand it over to the internal team and it runs on. With setting up agents, etc., how self-sufficient is it versus how much work, ongoing work is there for you given your experience at the moment?
So, talking about AgentForce in particular, if you have to tweak some bit here and there, definitely there's some work that we'll have to do. It is from a customer centric perspective or a service perspective. Customer feels really easy, right? So, for example, in traditional bots, if the bot asks you your email, you just have to enter your email. But here, if you even type, "Hey, my email is whatever," right, and it just picks up the email, right? So it is more conversational, but from a development perspective, it still requires some bit of work. It is not that you can just prompt it and it will do the job. You still need to write Apex flows, and there are certain standard methods out there, but still you need to, build it up.
And where are you going to get resources to help you and your team learn more about it?
So currently we are using a lot of trailheads. YouTube courses are there, a lot of YouTube videos. People are experimenting. There's a Slack channel on AgentForce that we are part of, and we kind of learn from there. A lot of people post their problems, and then we can brainstorm. Then Salesforce partner community portals are kind of great way to learn. I attend a lot of events like Dreamin events. I also spoke at Texas Dreamin last week on clean data and AI. So these kind of forums also help you learn and you can interact with other people who are into the same space.
And what about the change management? Is there any difference in the change management and the adoption of the technology versus some of the other clouds?
I think adoption is slightly slower because people are still hesitant sometimes because of security, but Salesforce has like taken care of all those things. But the main concern sometimes for the customer is that I don't know what it will answer, right? So they just want to be very cautious, specifically in terms of customer engagements. So I think adoption will be more internally first, and then probably they'll start using from a customer centering perspective. Talking about change management, it is kind of similar. So Salesforce has already taken care of those bits and pieces, so you can easily deploy and do that. So that's not that big of a problem.
Yeah, look, I always remember the story of when they said when the electric lift was first, or the elevator was first introduced, that it could go without humans, but to get humans to come in it, it basically had to have a human. And it's a bit like a
Yes.
plane, right? Like a plane could technically fly by itself, but people wouldn't probably get in it. It's like also the fully electric cars that are happening in the US at the moment. It's I think the adoption will be based on your preference, your security level, and your ability to change. As far as where you see AI, there's a lot of discussion around, if Salesforce can't solve in platform, then like what you've done, you'll be creating a lot of your own no or low code solutions to sort of fill the gap. How do you
Yep.
sort of see that playing out?
So yeah, basically the question is off Salesforce, how are you working with AI
Yeah, well,
agents?
where do you think it'll go? Do you think that it'll, like you providing a result to a client, that you will use other tools other than Salesforce to solve that, where predominantly what you've done in the past is use Salesforce to solve it?
No, so I think a really good question. The end goal is to solve the customer problem. If it can be done with Salesforce, great. Otherwise, we'll definitely explore other tools. We've already started leveraging some bit of other AI agents using some other tools like I spoke about. So we'll definitely try to fill the gap. ultimate success for a consulting company is more on the solving the customer problem.
Yes.
So we'll do whatever it takes. We are not just relying on Salesforce, but I think Salesforce is capable enough, but wherever required, we'll definitely go off board.
Yeah, look, and I think you're dead right, and that's why I always talk about picking a particular niche and niche, like you've got a couple real estate and in the not for profit in particular, and then really going deep in that world, and then it's like the chocolate wheel where you look and own the strategy with the client, and then you provide lots of things rather than I think it doesn't make sense for someone that knows is an AI consultant coming in over the top of that doesn't understand the platform in Salesforce, right? I think it makes so much more sense that we extend ourselves outside of platform, which is exactly what you've done and why I've brought you on, than just either letting someone else come in or just, waiting on Salesforce for everything. I think it's, I think that hybrid scenario is one that you've proven over the last 7-8 months to work, and I think that's the one we've got to continue to do. Any other places you go to get insights on AI other than what you've talked about?
AI is still pretty new, so it's hard to find certain resources, but we rely on certain Udemy courses, sometimes YouTube videos. We have kind of a smaller community wherein a lot of people researching on AI get together. So I'm part of couple of those groups that helps us kind of stay ahead of the curve. Those are some kind of areas we go on. YouTube is filled with a lot of courses, but reliable ones again is a question. So maybe try out some Udemy courses. They can help you understand and how it works, because AI is huge. People think AI is just LLM, but it's not just LLM. It requires RAG, LLMs, machine learning, deep learning, supervised learning, unsupervised learning, a
Correct.
bunch of things.
Yeah, and if you look at MCP and all of that that's happening now
A2A.
at the moment into Claude and ChatGPT, and I really think it's going to be interesting from a strategic point of view of how far Sam takes OpenAI versus the Microsoft and the Googles. It's a bit of like, obviously they're investors, they're also clients of his, but also he's trying to take market share off them. So it's going to be a really interesting. Well, it's already interesting, but it's only going to get more and more interesting as they develop. And I think there's a lot of small SaaS products that will unfortunately lose some relevance because of they'll just keep adding it to the mothership as they're constantly been doing.
Absolutely. I think the future will be very indifferent from what it has been till now. So we're looking forward to it. A lot of notions, people have like different ideas about it. Some people say it will be a consumable app kind of interface wherein you can just go there, prompt, and app will be built. There will be no need of a software developer out there or somebody to just build it for you. But I have tried those kind of tools like Firebase, Lovable, but you still need some programming knowledge, otherwise you cannot build it up. As of 2025, June 2025 to be specific, I don't
Spot
know.
on. And Microsoft has said, 20% of their development's done by AI, but, that means 80 isn't. And, there's still, it's like anything. You talked about content earlier on. I think you've still got to run your experience and knowledge base across. And, like you said, you've built up this journey of experience, and that counts. Like just had so many outputs where I'm thinking, no, that's not quite right. It's helped me shorten the research, but it hasn't helped me make the end decision.
Absolutely.
But look, you're in the right space. You're doing all the right things by, I think, being a hybrid where you're doing what you can on Salesforce, but also giving your customers other options. And what we'll do now is just take a pause, thank our sponsors, and then we'll come back for the rapid fire. Brilliant execution, terrible strategy. You can solve any client problem, but you're stuck in the same revenue patterns, same deal sizes, same time for money trap. I'm Paul, and I built and sold a 7-figure consulting business, but here's what I've learned mentoring other consultants. The real breakthroughs happen when you combine my experience with live problem solving of people going through exactly what you're facing now. In my group program, Steve works through his VA delegation challenge with Jed. Jed shares what's actually working. Andrew tests his pricing strategy with Casey, and Casey demonstrates his client onboarding system. Everyone's figuring it out together with my guidance based on what I learned the hard way. It's not theory, it's real-time strategic thinking with consultants in the trenches plus someone who's already made the journey. Stop grinding alone. Start thinking strategically. Go to paulhigginsmentoring.com/WWM. That's paulhigginsmentoring.com/WWM. Okay, Sanjeet, and just a reminder that you're listening to Sanjeet Mahajan on episode 625. So if you want to reach out to him, we'll show you how to do that in the outro. But I'm going to ask you 4 questions, get rapid responses. So you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm all set.
All right, beautiful. So the first one is, we've talked a lot about AI, but what's AI other than maybe LangChain? But what other AI that's really impressed you of late?
So I've been using Notebook LM, like you mentioned. It is a great tool. You can dump in all your data. It acts as a research analyst. Then Napkin.ai. Have you used that?
Yes, for presentations?
Not presentation. It helps you create visual diagrams. So you can just put in your thoughts and it creates some kind of visual diagrams or flowcharts. For it has helped us a lot. So I'll like to, these are like my top picks.
Yeah, great. And, we've talked about some of the areas you go for AI, but, what are some of the underdeveloped or underrated channels for you to get more clients so that you can get results for them with AI?
I don't think there's any, to be specific. Customer, you need to build trust, right? So I think you need to just be out there and speak your heart out. Be honest. Don't say we'll do this, we'll do this, we'll do that. That can be done, this can be done. But just focus on what actually can be done and just be honest about it. A lot of people, a lot of consultants, I see, oh yes, this can be done, this can be done. But then when they sign the project, they're like, no, this has some glitch and this cannot be done. So just tell what you know and don't overcome it. I think that is the most important key in finding the clients.
Yep, wise words from a person that looks very young. The next question is, we talked about AI, but where do you go to help improve your business?
So I have few mentors I kind of go to. They have helped us a lot. I think everybody who are looking for mentors, probably you are one of them and a lot of others out there. So just find one and stick to them.
Yes.
Do what they say, and that has helped us a lot. So mentorship is like the key because you can't learn everything, especially when you're young. So like I'm 30, right? So I cannot learn everything, but I think I can take inspiration from people and, take guidance from mentors and just scale. So that has helped me a lot.
Brilliant. And
there's no YouTube channel in the world that can help you. So mentorship is the key.
Great. And you've been in this industry for 10 years, as you said. What do you know now that you wish you had known earlier?
A lot of things. Earlier, I thought that writing code is the biggest asset, but today I think building relationships, understanding how to sell better, and just being honest is the greatest asset. Programming is definitely required, but it is not one of the biggest thing I look forward to.
Yeah, well said. So as I said, episode 625 can find more at Kizzy, KIZZY Consulting, or oneword.com, and we'll have all the other links in the show notes. But Brent, thanks for coming on today.
Thanks, Paul, for having me. Really excited.
The biggest takeaway from Sanjeet is that successful AI agent implementations isn't about the technology. It's about treating agents like intelligent interns who need proper training and clear instructions. Focus on solving real customer problems first and choose the right platform, whether it's AgentForce or custom solutions like he's using, which is LangChain, as an example. Reach out from Sanjeet on LinkedIn, and the link will be in the show notes, and thank him for sharing his AgentForce journey, and ask him about content crafter agents that's revolutionizing marketing ideation. You can find more at kizzyconsulting.com. It'll be in the show notes, and learn about their AI consulting services for nonprofits, real estate, and home care. You can watch the episode on the Paul Higgins Mentoring YouTube channel, and I'll see you next time on the Paul Higgins podcast. And please drop me a note. I'd love to hear from you. If you've got value today, hit subscribe so you don't miss future episodes, and reach out. Let me know you've listened. I'd love to hear from you.